Yeah, so hi guys. Today we have with us John. He's going to tell us a little bit about his experience working with us, how he's, the results that he's had working on our program. So yeah, John, I mean, without any further ado, yeah, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the guys a little bit about yourself here.
Hey Mo, good afternoon, and thanks for having me. Yeah, so I've been working the life insurance, in particular the final expense sector. Just like any other agent, I was used to buying leads that were a lot of times been worked a couple of times, possibly even recycled. And so it's a little bit more of a challenge. And I was trying to find a solution of where I could get some fresh leads that would give me better results. This is how I, came across Mad Media and decided to go ahead and invest in this program.
Awesome, awesome. How long have you been in the business in total?
Actually started December of 2023
Okay,
is when I started. Prior to this, I was doing finance. I've been doing finance for about 25 plus years.
okay.
Still sales, but it was a little bit different. And My wife actually has been in insurance sales for a long time.
Yeah,
So I decided to join her in
right.
this type of career.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's different,
yeah.
but it's still sales. No matter what you're doing, it's still sales.
Absolutely, absolutely. So those first few months before you actually started to work with us, then what were those few months like?
Very challenging. So my best month, I'm going to say I probably did like 8,000 in AP,
Okay.
and had quite a bit, maybe about 40% of that charged back. And so that was, part of the challenge is how do you, keep going in this industry without having to spend, a ton of money, a ton of time, and then getting discouraged with, the process.
Hmm.
And I know chargebacks are not, are something that's common, but I think doing the Facebook uh, leads, they're a little bit more intentional in the sense that the customer, wants that, knows that they need it, and so when you approach them, they are a little bit more open to the need, right?
Yeah.
And so when you call them up, whether you're either calling doing telesales or knocking on their door, they remember filling out that survey, and it's a little bit easier to talk to them about how you can help them.
Awesome, awesome. So now then, do you know approximately sort of on average what sort of numbers you are doing each week?
My first month was a little bit of a kind of a learning curve. So I think I ended up doing about 6,000, 6,500 in AP. And then once the leads started coming in, I started, going out there and being really consistent with it. And last month, I went from, averaging 6 to 7,000 on any given month to I did 31,000 AP last month. So
Nice.
I had two
Congratulations.
weeks where I had 10,000 back to back. And so it was really exciting, really motivating
Yeah,
to see that.
yeah.
And even though I did have some that charged back, it's not that big of a deal now because I can go to a fresh lead and replace that one with a new one.
Mhm.
Of course, you still kind of reach out to them and try to conserve that policy, hopefully. But it's a little bit more encouraging to that you have the leads and better quality leads to work with.
Okay, I see. So what would you say was the biggest change that happened? Because to go from 6,500 to 31,000, that is an astronomical jump, right? So what changed?
Just really the desire to succeed. I mean, I had money invested in this, and I needed to get my return. right? And so I changed up my game plan. I spend about an hour each morning on new leads, reaching out to them by the phone. And if I don't reach them, then I put them on my door knock list. Usually, I'll make an attempt to reach out to them twice. One day in the morning, the next day I'll reach out to them again because I try to plan my work going to different cities. So, unfortunately, they're not all in one zip code. So I work in the Dallas area, so it's a pretty big area. And so I try to plan my week, like on Tuesdays, I'm dialing Monday for my Tuesday appointments. I'm dialing Wednesday for my Thursday appointments and so forth. And I don't feel, I haven't gotten in that comfort zone yet where I can do a lot of telesales. I have done a few, but for the most part, all of them have been appointments that I set over the phone and then went and visited that person, that client, and was able to sell the policy.
I see. I see. So something that you mentioned that I felt was really interesting here, you mentioned that the thing that changed was your desire to succeed. I think
Mhm.
that's probably one of the biggest problems that people have in business, full stop, whether they're in insurance or whatever it might be, right? Like that real sort of hunger to win. So how did you cultivate that? Like, how did you flip that switch?
Well, I think I've always had that, just in my career and everything I've done. I've always had VP levels, regional director of operations. So it's always been in me. It's just something that my parents instilled in me, and I didn't see it as I saw it more of a challenge, not a failure, right? And I see that other people are doing a great job at this and making careers out of this. So I thought, okay, what do I need to change? What do I need to, what kind of mind frame am I supposed to have? What am I supposed to focus on in order to achieve that goal? And so I started to kind of listen to podcasts of some of the people that actually were having success with it, and picking people's brains, trying to see what their day looked like.
Hmm.
And it's all a matter of planning, right? My goal is I have to knock on at least no less than 15 doors a day, or and when I make my calls, I've been in the telesales industry in the past, so when I sit down to make calls, I can make about 100 calls in a span of 2 maybe 3 hours. My goal is 30 calls per hour, quality calls, right? So to make calls, it's not a problem. And once I set those goals, you stick to it. You develop that habit, that consistency, and you don't stop until you actually reach that goal. The other thing that I tell myself when I go out is, the first couple of policies that I sell are going to be for my expenses, and the last one is going to be what hopefully I'll get to put in my pocket. And so having that mindset kind of pushes me to always want to do more. And it's funny because in the beginning I thought I had talked to my direct uh, my upper line, and I had always thought that 5,000 for the week was my goal, right? But when I surpassed that, it was like, why not 10? And then once you reach that, it's like the sky's the limit, right? And so now this month I did 30,000 last month. I'm gonna try to do at least 40, and then my goal is to be consistent with doing about 40 to 50 an AP a month.
Awesome. That is awesome to hear. I mean, do you have like a particular goal in mind with, like sort of what you want to do with, this sort of, I guess, massive income that you will now have as a result of working as hard as you have? Is there something that you want to do?
Really, my goal is to be successful at what I do on a daily basis, right? Because I don't, I it's to me, it's not really. It's more about helping people. I just enjoy going out there, talking to people, and being able to, provide a product, help them with a product that is going to provide peace of mind. So
Hmm.
I don't see it as, what's going in my pocket. I see it as a my challenge is to try to help as many people as I can. The rest will
Yeah.
come, right? And so that's kind of my mindset. And by the same token, I want to eventually develop a team, and coach them and help them how to be successful because, that's what I've done in the past. I've, worked with teams, I've developed teams and give them an opportunity to create a career path. And now I'm looking to do this with this type of business. This is new to me. So, I'm hoping that I can do the same thing that I've done in the past with other businesses.
Okay. I mean, so out there, especially, I mean, I speak to agents every single day, right? New agents, agents that are more experienced. And I would say majority of the ones that I speak to happen to be struggling. Okay. And maybe they've been in the business for a few years or they've been in the business for a few months, but a lot of people really are struggling out there. So if somebody was to come to you, they are able to get leads, but they're struggling to make the business work for them. What would you what sort of high level advice would you give to such a person?
Uh, I would say, the thing that can really get into your head with this type of business is um, you go out there and make a sale, make a few sales, right? You already know you have some money invested in it. And it's that fear of investing money into something that, you know, I think a lot of times you expect a quick return. This is not a get rich scheme either. And so you have to put in probably twice as much as you want to get out of it. And so if you're, have a goal in mind, stick to that goal. And what do you have to do to get there? There's times when I have to change my schedule to accommodate my customers, especially right now during the summer when it's long days. I love it. So there's times when I spend the morning just organizing, my calls, talking to people, trying to organize my route. And 2 days out of the week, I head out like at 12 and I work till like 8 o'clock, that day. And the other thing that I do is when I do work the phones, is try to set up at least 3 to 5 appointments per day. And if I do that, then I know I have, a better opportunity to reach my goal. And then when I don't, you don't always get appointments. But the thing about these leads, sometimes when I go out there, you stop by and expect it. Some of them will let you in. Some of them, will ask you to come back. And it's up to you to kind of determine, are they sincere about this, right? And at times, I'll ask more questions. I'll say, well, give me 2 minutes of your time. I may not need to come back, but let me see, what it is that you were looking for. And as I start asking those questions, right, then I set up the appointment. I try to set up as soon as possible. And so that has helped out, quite a bit. But for the most part, it's just getting to those leads as the lead as it comes in. The fresher, the better. Because just like everything, these people are looking for insurance. It's just a matter of time. They're going to buy from someone. Hopefully that would be, me. So that's kind of my approach on things is don't let the minor things kind of, get into your head. Think about what goal you're trying to achieve and stay after it.
Okay, I see. So talking about leads then, so prior to working with us, as you mentioned, you were getting leads from, I think, the company that you work with, the IMO that you are with, and then you sort of switched over to us. Has it actually made a difference? Be completely frank with us here. Has it actually made a difference to your business by, getting our leads instead?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, last month I went, from averaging, 6,500 to, having 2 weeks back to back over 10K. I think one week was 11K. And for the month, I ended up with 31,000 in AP. And so that to me was like really exciting. I never thought that, I could achieve that type of AP, but now, I'm looking at, okay, well, if I could do that in 2 weeks, I could probably do that, on a weekly basis. So, that's why I'm kind of shooting for about 40K in AP. I know it's not always going to be attainable. There's going to be, weeks when some of the leads don't come in as, or as many, you don't get as many leads as you would hope for. But all of a sudden they start coming in, and there's been days when I wake up, and look at my leads on Monday morning, and I'm like, oh my, I've got like so much work for this week. And it's exciting to see those leads come in. And to be honest with you, at the end of the last month, I was actually struggling trying to get to them. I kind of felt bad that I didn't have enough time to get after them, because I know how important it is to talk to that person as the lead comes in. So I was really happy to see that the leads came in. So I went from the first month having like 92 leads to having 289 leads. I think um, in my spreadsheet or in my CRM by the end of last month. So I think I'm subscribed to maybe 50 leads a week, but they just they started coming in, and that was good to see.
Awesome, awesome. So I think a lot of people would be watching this right now and would be thinking, especially those out there that may need help, that maybe they would like mentorship from you, right? So if somebody was in that sort of position to where they would want to reach you, how could they reach you?
Yeah, they're more than welcome to reach out, on my cell. I think I provided that for you guys. But or reach out to me in my email as well, or text. But yeah, I'll be more than happy to share whatever it is that can help them. And the main thing is, whatever scripts your company has, learn those first of all, right? Because you're learning it from individuals that have been in this business for a long time. They have a model, and uh, and then as far as the Facebook leads, I still use the same leads. I just kind of change them up a little bit, because I know that when I approach that client, that uh, because they responded to one of our Facebook posts, and then I start asking questions. Is your email this? Yeah, you listed your beneficiary as being, Joe A. You listed the code word or your hobby, as being golf,
Yeah,
and they remember that. And so
yeah.
once they remember that, then I say, great, I have the right person. Where would you like to go over this information? Just take a quick minute. And I'll ask them. I'm pretty direct, so I usually ask them, would you like where would you like to go over this information, in the kitchen or living room? Even if I see, I've done a lot of doorstep. I don't like to do the doorstep approach, but if I see that they have some maybe a patio or a porch in the front, and there's a place to sit,
Mhm.
I'll even tell them, may I sit here? Can we go over this right here? So my goal is to try to sit down and establish a relationship with that client and make them feel comfortable with me, which is pretty easy to do. Once I get the yes, I remember that. Um, I just kind of start making them feel a little bit more relaxed, and then I get into well, I'm here to help you. Let's go over a couple of things that I've got most of your information, but let me just kind of let you tell me what exactly you were looking for, right? What are you trying to accomplish? Who you're trying to, who are your beneficiaries? You've got two of them listed. You've got one listed here. What are you trying to accomplish? So I kind of open up, let them speak. Uh, and as they speak, I'm kind of writing notes, right? Because I want to come back to as to who they want to protect and why, throughout the process. Because that's going to be, it's going to be kind of how you create a sense of value for them, right? They obviously thought it was important enough, and my job is to try to get them approved. So that way their family's protected.
Awesome, awesome. Well, John, thank you so much for coming on. I think you've given us so much gem here, in both in terms of mindset, but also in terms of actual actionable steps that people can take to improve the results that they've been seeing in the business. So thank you so much for that, and I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great afternoon.
All right, thank you so much.